It's the JT Cho Show!
10. Cheers, brother.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah. Welcome back to the JT Cho Show.
I'll open it since you didn't open it properly last time. You just rip them out of there.
I learned the errors of my ways, so I was going to redeem myself, you know. Who we saying happy birthday to start out the show with? Episode 123.
You want me to go first?
123rd.
Oh, the 123 episode?
123.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, 14 viewers. Keep it up, boys. We love it.
We love each and every one of you.
We love it.
So I'm saying happy birthday to Carrot Top.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. He is, what is he? He's 58 today.
I'm going to say happy birthday to Deborah Jo Rupp, who is Kitty.
Oh,
That
that's a
show.
good one.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday to Carrot Top and Kitty.
Yeah.
How old is she? Working 102?
I'm going to say 76, probably.
I'm going to guess 82.
Let's see. So, hey, what'd you say right before we started the podcast?
Oh, there's a guy in California. I think it's Southern California. Mm-hmm. And he's selling his vanity license plate that he got back in 1970.
Wow.
He's had the same license plate, same custom plate ever since then.
Yep.
And it says Cash. C-A-S-H. And it's an old school blue and yellow California license plate. And he's had it since the 70s. And he's gotten multiple offers from car dealerships over the years trying to buy it. Mm-hmm. And he said he wouldn't even sell it for $1 million.
Yeah.
He is now selling it for $2 million. Don't know who's buying it.
Someone with a lot of cash.
Someone's buying it off of him for $2 million. What an investment that guy made back in the fucking 70s.
It's kind of like he brought the royalty of guitar to America, because in guitar, the more important you are or the more money you have, the lower your license plate number is. So if you're driving down like an asshole down their highways and you're like a 455 and somebody cuts you off and you're about to fucking flip them off and you see like a 15, you better fucking just pull over.
You just pull over. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Actually, I read a little bit about it too, and there's been a couple of vanity license plates that have sold. There's one, I think it was out of Indiana, that just had the number 20, sold for $400,000.
People want these plates, dude.
Dude, I'm about to start just making plates. That's why the prison system's making so much money.
Because they're underpaying those people.
Anyways, yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
72.
72.
Deborah.
Oh, you win.
Yeah.
Deborah.
Jo Rupp.
I keep her name's Kitty, bro. Stop calling her Deborah.
She's an actress.
You call her Deborah. I think of Everybody Loves Raymond.
So a little bit of an update into what's been going on here. We had an ice storm.
We're absolutely out of Wi-Fi in the studio right now.
Yeah, so we had an ice storm on Wednesday, and Cut lost power.
I lost power for like an hour and a half.
And so right when he texted me that his power was back on, my power shut down. And it was one block over had power. So I lost power for probably 9 hours. Carrie's making background noises.
He's playing with a rubber band.
It's one of those little plastic clip things.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, like they used to.
Oh, he lost it.
Whatever. Gone for never, Aaron Hernandez. But anyways, so we had this ice storm blowing. I got heat back on at like 6 in the morning, no big deal. And it was work from home day because everybody had no power. So had a great time, worked from home. Thursday rolls around, it rained all day, the ice came back through. Branches were down everywhere. Power lines are down everywhere. So there's people who aren't projected to have power until March 2nd. So we're lucky that we're recording this with power.
Yep.
But to last night, and then we'll throw up the photo because I wanted to talk about this because we have a photo. I was finally I had a good golf round that I won. I got my ass kicked on the second round. And on, I think 5 holes through or 4 holes through, I either was -3 or -4. But I was definitely in first place. And I hit a shot, and I looked up, and my shit disconnected. And it caught my face perfectly because my mouth was like, ah.
Oh, yeah, I sent it to you.
Yeah, that's the photo. So, so my internet cut out, and here we go. okay, you know, how long? Maybe it'll just reconnect. To be determined. So yesterday I had to live in the 90s.
Yeah.
I cleaned my house. Nothing, like, I started a puzzle. And I got my Blu-ray player out and I started watching Harry Potter. Because you can sit there and watch shit on your phone and I have unlimited shit, but like, I don't want to just watch shit on my phone.
Yeah, put it on the big screen.
Yeah, so I got my DVD player out.
Which Harry Potter did you watch?
I started from the first.
Oh,
so I'm through the first two.
The Sorcerer's Stone?
Sorcerer's Stone, and then I watched The Chamber of Secrets.
Nice.
Which, The Chamber of Secrets,
You watched both of them last night?
I watched both of them by today.
Oh.
I watched the second one. I got the DVD player out, and then I started watching it, but then I restarted it. A couple of my coworkers came over today.
Okay.
They brought me breakfast and coffee, and they charged all of their items here.
Nice.
When they left, she heated up her her rice bag in the microwave.
Oh, hilarious.
And then the fireplace, I know his wife loves.
Yeah.
And
everybody loves a fireplace.
And so they stayed over for almost the entire Harry Potter movie. Brought me over some Jackson Coffee, not a sponsor. But when I texted him this order, he goes, "Hey man, we're gonna get Jackson Coffee. What do you want? You don't have to make us coffee, but we're still gonna use your coffee pot because they brought over a thermos that stays hot for like 36 hours and made a fresh pot." And I was like, "Oh, I'll just take a medium ice, shot of vanilla, and 1 shot of cream." And his first text said, "What do you want, coffee or latte?" And he goes, "What flavor, dumbass?" And I was like, "I don't know. Usually when I order a medium coffee with 1 shot of cream, 1 shot of sugar, 1 shot of vanilla, they don't really ask me anything besides that. They just make the goddamn iced coffee.
They just make the cup."
But he was like, "Oh, coffee," and I was just like, "Dude, I felt really dumb." It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was really hungry, and I will say right now where I live at, unfortunately there's like 200,000 people in the state of Michigan without power.
200,000?
Yeah. There's some people who are projected to not get power till March 2nd. Today's February 24th, so that's a huge time frame. So we're very fortunate to, have power, yes. But it's just crazy how... I'm going to talk shit about Xfinity right here. This is what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, go for it.
On their app, it was hard to maneuver past a computer assistant. He does get you to do the pages, but it took me... I had to sign in. So I talked to a virtual agent, and then I had to re-sign in. On the same window, same page, same everything, and I was so pissed because I'm just like... I've had internet for like 4 hours. So then they just said, to be determined. So I said, fuck it, it's 11 o'clock, going to sleep, got some early rest. Well, here, Mr. What's the Disney movie with the house?
With the house.
That's
lots of Disney movies with the house.
That's futuristic, and it has the mom living in it. Have you never seen this?
The Disney movie with the house that has the mom living in it.
It's the virtual mom. There's no mom. It's a dad with his 2 single kids, and they move into a smart house. Have you never seen Smart House?
I don't know. I might have, but it's
Smart House,
like a 90s movie?
It's a Disney classic original movie.
Yeah,
Smart House.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a single reference from it.
So, Smart House basically is a Disney movie where a single dad moves in with his son and his daughter to this house that's technologically advanced.
Oh,
and you can talk to the house and
right.
and it's got the claws that come out and grab the laundry. It cooks,
yeah.
and then the dad starts dating, and the house is like, "That's my man."
Yeah, I remember that. That's a big thing with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have a Nest.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is you can adjust it from your bed. So if it's a little too warm at night, turn it down.
So the lack of Wi-Fi is very inconvenient for you.
So 4 in the morning, my asshole dogs had all the covers. My cat was making noise, and it was cold as fuck. And so I kicked all the dogs out of the... I just kicked all... You're done.
Get out.
Yep, get done, son. I had to adjust my heat, and then... Here we are still today with no internet. So eventually, if Xfinity, you have a terrible customer service. If you said yes, I want to talk about this outage, it just hangs up on you. It says, we can't do nothing. Have a great day. Hangs up. If you say no, they say, oh, you don't have service, so we can't do anything anyways. So we're not gonna let you talk to anybody. No. So I probably hit the number 0 for operator. Probably 50 times. Like, no, I did I had to type in my phone number, I had to type in my social security number, and I finally talked to a dude. He goes, I don't know, 21 hours. And I was like, how unacceptable of an answer that is 21 hours? Like, to fix the internet? Like, I don't know. That
is a wild time frame.
That's just me being fucking kind of a little dick. Like, I need my internet, but I do. Because I work from home.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go in person to get a better answer. So I went to the local Xfinity, and they said, we don't even have one. And I was like, it's been 16 hours since my internet went down. And by the way, this customer service guy, you have internet.
Yeah.
You have the same modem, and you have the same
modem.
plan.
And I'm less than a mile away.
And I told that to him. He goes, "What?" And he goes, "No. He's not getting a gig. He's only getting 700 to 800." And I'm like, he's still getting internet.
Yeah.
A half mile away.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, they're putting up 16 to 17 poles." That doesn't matter because he's getting internet less than a half mile away. And so I went to the main store, and they're like, "Well, we just don't have an estimate. It might be 3 to 5 days." And I was like, "So who told you that?" He goes, "Well, we don't have an estimate, so that's what I'm guessing." And I was like, "So you're guessing 3 to 5 days, but that's not an official. That's just your guess." And he's like, "Well, sorry, we can't." And I was like, "No, you already helped me because you told me you couldn't give me anything."
Yeah.
And I was like, I just think there's a terrible customer service of, if you know there's a huge problem, just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me, hey, it's going to be 15 hours before you get internet. Hey, there's a problem. It's going to be more than 24 hours till we get the internet. But to be determined, can be an hour, can be a day.
Yeah, so you're just looking for a little transparency.
A little transparency.
That's all it is.
And I was very respectable, but I was very stern
Yeah,
in Xfinity
stern-
today.
stern
Because I was like,
respectful.
listen, you guys are telling me you don't have an answer, and that's my answer. You don't have to give me any more bullshit. And they were just like, oh, well, you know, and I was like, no. And they're like, well, we brought up crews from Ohio, and we brought up outside sources, and everybody's been working around the clock. And I was like, so you brought in extra help, and for 16 hours, you still don't have an answer with this extra help? So there's some form of lack of communication that's happening, because in 16 hours, you should know the problem. Was it the ice storm? And he goes, well, it could have been the ice storm. I was like, so you don't even know if this was caused by the ice storm?
It is funny, too, because, like, just about the halfway point from my house to your house is the liquor store.
Yeah, and the liquor store doesn't have
The liquor
internet.
store doesn't have internet either.
But technically...
I think that's probably the cutoff. Probably the railroad track.
I live off that block, technically.
Yeah.
Because it's still shared on that same half mile.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think maybe the Wi-Fi line is the railroad track, because my side of it, I mean, obviously I have internet.
Yeah.
And I'm,
So if this is
700
uploaded
feet.
Saturday, great. It might not be.
You can always edit it at my place tomorrow.
Well, no, I can edit it offline.
Or post it from my place. I mean,
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
I mean, usually I do it on Sunday anyways.
We'll figure that out offline.
I think filming on Friday or Saturday, I think we should just always upload Sundays.
That works for me.
Because, one, as we're trying to evolve this podcast,
Yeah.
we could do Sundays because most new podcasts come out Mondays. So
Lots of good things going to be happening too soon. Within the next few days, we're going to start planning the layout for the new studio, which is going to be 10 feet below us.
Yeah, in the basement.
Yeah.
In the basement.
And
I keep looking down.
We're gonna lay down like a nice little floor. We're gonna put up a nice little backdrop. We're both gonna have like a little side of the wall that we can,
essentially
decorate.
a little corner.
We've
corner
talked about
action.
it on the pod before, but
basically,
definitely gonna have. We're gonna put a Michigan flag up. We're gonna put a California flag up.
And as you
and
point,
then anything else you want.
And as you pointed out, I stream with this mic, so we're essentially, when we start making money, we're just gonna keep investing in the studio.
Yeah.
To where we both have our own mic, and then
I like the headset idea.
I mean,
like having like the separate headsets
so you can hear
connected.
yourself.
Yeah, that way we're not like,
well,
because I mean,
okay.
just like Rogan says, you talk over each other.
So see this guy?
Yeah.
So you know how we were testing with the Doppler effect?
Yeah.
So essentially, you can just plug that in, and it's the same thing.
I'm okay with that then.
Yeah, and so, but hopefully this one sounds a lot better. Let us know in the comments if you're still listening.
Yeah, go back to the last pod.
And it sounds more echoey. It's because I stream with it and I had it on a different setting.
Yeah, so we changed the setting on it, which is, it's just something I noticed last time, because I always listen to our podcast. It might be a little, I don't even know what that would be. Something.
No, I do it in comedy. By the way, I didn't get booked for a single event in stand-up for February or January, and I did try for February hard. But new releasings happen this week, so I'll update the pod with.
I want to try and go up somewhere in April when Chris is gone. Like, I want to try to go up. I think I got 5 minutes of decent stuff.
Dude, you just tell them it's your first.
I don't even want to tell them it's my first time. At the end of my set, well, obviously they're probably gonna say it before I go up.
You should tell them.
Yeah.
Because they'll
get some sympathy laughs.
Well, I mean, okay, so I've seen some good hosts and I've seen some terrible hosts, and There's some clubs I like because they're better organized and they have a worse crowd than having a better crowd but terribly written. And so what they'll usually do is they will put you at the best spot being brand new. So they'll put you at like 3 or 4 sometimes because that's where the audience is warmed up and they're invested. When you're like 9 and 10 and that audience is still hanging on, and I'm playing clubs that are like 40 people max, eating dinner, not even giving a fuck of that word.
Yeah, what was it? Crunchies? Or
Crunchies
whatever?
is my favorite.
Yeah, that one's a good spot, but it's like 50% of the people just don't give a shit about what you're saying.
Beggars, I hit them up twice, never responded, which is no big deal.
Honestly, that one that we went to, that was the
bar
upstairs, the upstairs one.
Oh yeah,
the one that's not there anymore.
They just relocated.
They moved, yeah. But that one was my favorite atmosphere because that one was dope. Like everyone was laughing, everyone was having a good time. And then
I had a great
halfway
set.
through that one dude set, was it your set? Where everyone just got up and left?
Well, yeah, that was during the Pokemon joke.
Yeah, everyone just got up and left because, like, obviously the dude that they went there to see had already gone, and they're like, "All right, let's get out of here. Let's find a spot to get out of here."
Yeah.
And you said your Pokemon joke, and everyone got up, and you're like, "Well, that joke fucking sucked," and that got some laughs.
Yeah.
So they were just getting up and leaving, and I could see them the whole time. They were like whispering to each other, and they're like, "Hold on," and then they were just like, "All right, now," and they all just got up at the same time. Like,
yeah,
like, I wasn't gonna throw anyone off.
When you're up there on stage,
I mean, it's open mic stuff, so like obviously you just gotta roll.
Well, yeah, but like it's crazy that like usually if I get out there and if I can get a chuckle in like the first little like 10 seconds, if I'm just like, hey, I'm this and here's a quick one, and they're like, ha 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 ha, and I'm like, great, got one little laugh.
First one out of the way. Yeah.
But when you see crazy shit like that happen, when you see a group of like 12 guys get up, in your heart you're like, oh no, but you gotta you gotta memorize that 5-minute set that you've just done. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to it one bit, but I just have.
I'm looking forward to it.
I just have to know because I'm either gonna for me because like
I think you'll do great.
I'm either just above mediocre at everything I try, or I'm great at it.
I think
like it's one or the other.
Great. I think
like volleyball, I'm pretty great at. Softball, just above mediocre.
My first time doing stand-up.
Golf, just above mediocre.
My first time doing stand-up was in 2010. It might have been 2011, but it was.
That would have been my senior year of high school.
It was in Central Michigan University. It was at the UC Center, which is a student union center thing.
How'd you do? Did you get any laughs?
Oh, I killed.
Really?
So I remember.
What was your joke? What was your joke that got the best laugh?
Home Improvement joke. That was an improv joke.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened. So I went fourth, and Joe picked me up that day, and you know we cruised, and on cruises you do things on cruises, and I was like Joe, I'm doing stand up tonight, and I really need to bounce some material off of you. So Joe helped me do one of my first workshops. So I had my 5 minutes. I go down cellar, and I'm the fourth one to go, and there's these dudes who are going before me. My very first time, and I'm going, wow, that was almost a super great joke, but they just missed something that I thought was funny. And then the third guy went up, and he was this black guy, and he talked about getting beat and his ass whooped by his mom. Like the difference between white kids and black kids is his mom would beat his ass, and white kids can talk about, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, that's pretty good too. So when I went up, I said, first of all, let's thank the previous comedians. I can't remember the first piggyback, but I got a chuckle. And I was like, talk about getting an ass whooping. I was like, I'm a redheaded stepchild. And then everyone's like, ha 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 ha. And I was like, all right, great. And then halfway through my set, I was like, holy shit, we got a celebrity in the crowd. And I was like, it's Wilson from Home Improvement. There was a dude who was looking over, like, essentially, it's a restaurant during like a student union.
Looking over like a fake wall.
Well, like a little, like a booth wall,
or whatever.
A booth, like the little frames above a booth, and everybody turns around and have his face, and that killed. Nice. And I was like, God damn, dude. I was like,
the first joke would be funny because I think the difference between black parents and white parents is if you have white parents, the dad's liable to beat the shit out of you. Like the dad's the guy with the belt.
Yeah.
Black parents, both of them will beat the shit out of you. Like my mom never laid a finger on me until I was like 14, and I threw her on the couch. My mom she would yell at me, and she'd send me to my room. My dad was the opposite, though. My dad only beat my ass twice, And both of them was because I was really young and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like one of them I remember vividly. I was like 3-ish, maybe 4. But it was before Travi was born. And I was trying to stick a fork into the wall socket, the electric socket. And he looked at me, he goes, "Hey!" Grabbed the fork from me. He goes, "Don't fucking do that. You'll hurt yourself." And I said, "All right." And I stepped back, and as soon as he fucking turned around, I grabbed another fork and tried to jam it in there, and he caught me. He threw me over his fucking lap and went, bah! Like one time really hard. He goes, "Don't fucking do that." I never did it again. Never again. Because he was right. I tried to do it, and I fucking hurt myself.
Yeah.
I mean, he hurt me, but, I got hurt trying to do it. Way better off getting a smack in the butt than getting fucking however many volts were going to come through that fork.
I deserved a lot of mine. I remember one vividly. I hate cough syrup. I hate that cherry taste.
Oh, yeah.
I can do it now because I understand it's going to taste bad.
Yeah,
I take
my
shots.
dad loves that taste too.
Hate
He's
it.
such a big fan of that cherry, that syrupy cherry taste. He
So-
loves cherry pie. Cherry pie is a little different than cough syrup, but not much.
I got as a child I got bronchitis easy, and I got ear infections every year, so I was sick a lot. And so I was sick, and I had bad cough, and my parents like, "Time to take your cough syrup." And I was like, "No!" I was probably like 7 or 8. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but in chemistry there's like little glass test tubes. Well, this one's a plastic one, and it's a test tube with a pore. It doesn't have an even top. It has like a pore top.
Oh, it's got a little spout on it, yeah.
But it's
Little
easy for you,
bend.
but you can press your thumb on it to seal it perfectly.
Oh, okay.
So here my mom and dad are chasing me up and down the stairs and around the tables. And they're like, you better fucking take this cough syrup. And I'm like, no. And I'm running away from them, and I'm doing the table thing where I'm going under the table and around the table. And finally they pin me down.
Playing some high stakes tag.
And finally they pinned me down, and my dad had me here, and he just like shoved this fucking test tube in my mouth, and then my mom was just beating my ass.
She's smacking you as you're choking on cough syrup.
And then after I took it, I like just grabbed her Diet Pepsi and I chugged it, and I was like, it wasn't that bad because I had the Diet Pepsi. And then after that though, this was like 3 weeks later. Like I got my ass beat that day. I ran out of the house. Like my dad was gonna whoop my ass, and I just started running down the street.
No idea where you're going. Just started sprinting.
I was just running.
I was running.
And my dad just goes, "If you keep running, it's gonna be twice as bad." And I was just like, "I don't want that." And I just turned around, and then I got my ass whooping.
I had an altercation with my dad. I've actually never told this story to anyone before.
Live on the pod.
Yeah, no. So my dad was very lenient when I was.
Harry on the pod.
My dad was very lenient when I was a teenager, 14, 15. Before I could drive, I was partying a lot, like drinking 40s with my buddies, doing whatever I wanted. I worked on the weekends sometimes to earn cash, and that's how I would. That's how I'd get money for booze, and I'd buy money for all my friends. None of my friends had a job. And I remember one time, it was the first time he ever caught me partying. And there was weed at the house, there was liquor at the house, there was beer at the house. None of it was his. It was all mine. And he stayed in his room the whole night. And I had 4 of my friends over, and we all got fucked up. Mm-hmm. And they all rode their scooters home.
Yeah.
The next day, he woke me up, and he was pissed at me because it was his first time ever catching me drinking, and his first question was, where'd you get the liquor from? And me being a hungover shithead 14-year-old,
Yeah.
said, "Don't worry about it."
Oh.
And he was like, "Where the fuck did you get the liquor from?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it, dude. It doesn't matter. It's gone anyways."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, yeah, there's bottles everywhere. Where the fuck did you get it from? Who even was over at the house?" And then I told him who was at the house. And I wouldn't tell him. I didn't want to tell him who it was because the person who it was very close to me and him. It was his daughter, my older sister.
Yeah.
She plugged. She was the best.
Plug.
And,
I know what it's like to be a plug.
Yeah, she was the best. She hated it though. She didn't like doing it. She felt like she was lying to Dad. But
that's your sister, dude.
yeah, so we argued for like 20 minutes, and then he big manned me. He stood up real tall and puffed his chest out because we were screaming at each other. He's like, "What, do you want to fucking hit me?" and I puffed my chest out at him, but I was like belly button height to him. And I puffed my chest out at him, and I started crying because like I wanted to hit him, but I didn't want to hit him at the same time. Like I wanted to fucking rack him, but at the same time, I didn't want to hurt my dad.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Go to your fucking room," and I said, "Fine."
Yeah.
And I walked into my room, and that was the end. We never talked about it again.
why-
Still to this day, we haven't talked about that.
That's why, like, I feel like I'm gonna be way more understanding as a dad if I ever have kids.
Yeah,
Because I still want to be stern,
Yeah.
but there's some things I'm gonna be like, he just needs to learn his lesson on this one the hard way.
yeah.
Because it's the only way you're gonna learn.
I feel like that's how my dad was, because he never grounded me. We would always just have conversations. Like he would just talk to me and be like, "Hey, what'd you do? Why'd you do it? You understand why that was wrong, right?" And
Yeah.
then I would explain to him why I thought it was wrong, and then he would either correct me and be like, "No, it was wrong because of this," or be like, "Yeah, that's exactly why it was wrong."
Okay.
And then at the end of it, he'd be like, "So you gonna do it again?" And I'd either be like, "No," or "Why can't I do it again?"
Yeah.
And he caught me smoking weed for the first time when I was 13. It was like halfway through my freshman year, and I was stealing it from his room,
Wow.
but it wasn't his. He was holding like 3 ounces for one of his friends
Damn.
that was on probation.
Damn.
And at the end of their probation, which was like 6 months, they wanted it back.
Yeah.
And it was zip tied,
Yeah.
or not zip tied, but it was vacuum sealed
Yeah.
in a vacuum seal bag. And I broke the seal, stole a nug every weekend for like 7 months until there was not much left. And then he found out, and he gave me the best advice I've ever got in my entire life. He said, "You can do whatever you want in this life as long as you don't get caught. And you're too fucking stupid to not get caught, so you can't do that anymore."
Yeah.
And I was in tears. I was like, "All right, I won't do it. Please don't tell anyone, da da da." And we're like sitting up front of my mom's house because he was just going to have the talk with her and be like, "Hey, I caught him smoking weed." And he didn't tell her.
What a gangster.
He didn't tell
Your
her.
dad's a G.
We just drove home.
Your dad's
and I didn't smoke another little bit of weed for like a year and a half. Didn't touch it. Stayed away from
Your
it.
dad's cool because he watches like shows that are great.
Oh yeah. My dad. He loves.
He's
he loves
up on
all
good shows.
Yeah.
Not just
all the good ones.
Like my dad's probably still stuck on Everyone Loves Raymond.
Yeah. Shout out my dad. His name's Gary. He's
God.
he's the dopest dude on the planet.
Shout out to God.
Yeah, he looks like he could be like he look. You know, that's another funny thing too. We lived at my Uncle Johnny's house for a little bit, and he had a Bible,
I'm wearing a hat for the second half of the pod.
and on the front of the Bible there was a picture of like a depiction of Jesus.
Yeah.
And the picture was like, it was a dude that had like long dark hair and a big beard, and his like facial features kind of matched my dad's, and he had blue eyes. And so I looked at the book, and I just assumed that my dad was Jesus. I just assumed. It looked like a picture of him.
Yeah.
Like it could have been. Like it looked like a
White
picture of him
Christian
that was like
Jesus.
slid into like a picture thing on the book cover.
Yeah.
But it was the Bible with a picture of Jesus on it. And so I thought for probably a solid 4 years of my life, I thought my dad was Jesus. Because he would make all these jokes. Like, we went to Thanksgiving at my uncle's house, and he couldn't get this barbecue to work. Couldn't do it. And I was standing right behind my dad as he did it. He fucked with something underneath it. And my uncle was like, "I already did that. It's not going to do it." And my dad goes like this. He waves his hand over it and presses the ignite button, and it just goes and lights up. I thought my dad was fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
Like he was just doing everything. He literally waved his hand over it. He would do that for everything, though. I found out later on that was one of his jokes. He would do it with like dirt bikes. People couldn't get a dirt bike started. He'd walk up to it, wave his hand over it, fuck with a clutch real quick, and then just whop it on.
Yeah.
I thought he was Jesus for a long time. And now, come to find out, he's not Jesus. He's God. My little brother's Jesus. And that makes me the devil.
That's like when I used to see my grandpa and dad just build shit out of nothing. Like,
Yeah, isn't that
like,
impressive as a child, too?
My parents' driveway now is stone because instead of resurfacing, which is expensive, or repaving, which is expensive, essentially repaving, you could just tear up the cement anyways and just repave.
Yeah.
They laid rocks over it, you drive over it, they took the cheaper way out. But when I was growing up, we had cement driveways for basketball, for hockey, this and that. But watching my grandpa and dad level off a huge driveway that it goes downhill as well, and then watching a cement truck roll up, dump cement, him leveling it off, my grandpa's just like more, back it up, just perfectly aligning it, and then taking I should know the tool but I don't because I'm a piece of shit, Rest in peace, Grandpa. But he's leveling it off perfectly, and then like 2 or 3 days later, we got a fucking huge basketball court now. Because what
Nice.
we used to have when I was real little, we had essentially 3 sections. Like that's it. So like half the driveway, and then when I was little, they laid together the other driveway plus the downhill, and I was like, that was crazy. And what's crazy too is they built that garage by hand. My grandpa laid the foundation to that house, and they dug that hole to the foundation themselves. Yeah. And I just think about doing that, and I'm like, that's what Earl wants to do for his
new house that he's trying to fuck with.
What's the compound? Well, not compound's a bad
compound.
word. Well, what's
holler?
There's another term for it too. It's like they talk about it all the time for comedy. Like if Joe ever like bought a bunch of houses for his comedians, but
I think they call it a compound.
They probably call it, yeah, but
commune?
Essentially,
Is that what you're looking for?
Commune, yeah, I don't know, but essentially that's what Earl wants to do, and I'm like, dude, I wish I could just like be there drinking a beer and watching people just dig dirt.
Yeah. It is funny because you get to a certain age and you just enjoy watching people build shit. Like there's all the jokes on TikTok of like people across the street building a new house, and it's like all the local dads, and it's just one clip of this. It's on like his dad in the driveway, and he's like sitting there like this with like a coffee in his hand, he's sipping the coffee, and then he looks down the road, and there's just like 15 other dads out there in their robes, just like watching this construction happen early in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, what convenience store here in Jackson has your best spices?
Spices?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the fucking Save-A-Lot.
My grandpa built that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the paper. So as a child...
He was in the paper.
Yeah. So it was a huge deal for my family because my grandpa, he was a 40-year bricklayer, part of the union. And as a child, we did a lot of, like, you could probably drive to Hudson to back to my house and...
Bricklayer. There's a better word for that. Brick mason.
Brick mason. Yeah, they're masons. Yeah. But
masons has a weird connotation to it. Though.
Yeah, they do put it on their. I have it on my. I have one of my grandpa's shirts sewn into one of my t-shirt blanket quilts.
That's dope.
The one that he got at a union meeting that I was with him at.
Nice.
So it does say Mason.
That's cool.
They are Mason workers.
Yeah. Masons.
But essentially, I would always take
Masons.
the back roads. He would always tell me about hunting stories, but just like dads too. I would drive by like he'd be like, we need to go to Jackson, but he'd take the long way and go, I built that house, I built that.
I think that's just that's a normal thing for like kids with like blue collar dads, because like that was very normal for me growing up. We would drive down the road and just be like, yeah, I built that.
But in the 3 years of construction with GF Rozak, I now can drive around the same area. I mean, like, I built that porch extension.
Yeah.
I cut down those trees. I laid that bank parking lot. And
it gives you construction's such a rewarding career field. So for one, any young kids out there that are like struggling with what they want to do in life, like high school or whatever, you can go to a fucking trade school.
Dude,
you can get you don't even have to go to a trade school. You can just get on with like a construction crew and you labor.
I saw
like that's the best way to describe the work you're gonna do. You labor for like the first 2-3 years, then you find your specialty, that one thing you're good at. You either go to a trade school for it, or you're just like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. You make good money. You get into a union, you're making like $40 an hour starting. Like that's pretty fucking good for like a 19-year-old.
I saw a passionate speech on TikTok about a guy who's like, all these kids are carjacking, but you got trade schools out of schools, and so they don't have, and there's no investment in cars, so they could be building them. But now they're jacking them because they have no outlets. And he's like, you've taken all about college. College is cool, but trade schools are great.
Trade schools are great because there is a certain genre of kid, because I was one of those kids that just never wanted to fucking go to college. Like,
I'll tell you right now, with my first degree, and I met a lot of great people, and I never want to get rid of that experience. But just thinking about using what I earned, I'd rather go to a trade school.
Yeah, that's
it would have been way shorter.
It's way shorter. You would have made way more money.
And then now we'd be like, I feel like if I would have had my drive now as 18-year-old, I would have a Dukes Wells.
Yeah. No, Earl's the perfect example for that, because he's 30-some years old.
Well,
he's got one kid.
Yeah.
And he owns his own business, and he's making great money.
Yeah.
And that is a great.
He's
route.
not making great money.
He's making pretty good money.
He's just.
He told me what he covered last year. He's making
well,
pretty good money.
Well, yeah, but he's making consistent call. Never has to worry about a slow season amount of money. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Like this. So his first year soloing, he was still working part time, and he would run his own crew calls.
Yeah, on the side. Yeah.
And then in the first winter, it was semi-slow, but no big deal. Dual working parents, they made it through. No big deal. They have Vinny. Comes into that second winter, a little bit worried. Never busier in his fucking life because of that first year, dude. So he's killing it. Yeah. Duke's Wells.
No, he's absolutely killing it. Not a sponsor, definitely a sponsor. Duke's Wells. They're great. We played in his company fucking scramble. We sucked ass. I think we shot like a 2 over.
Yeah, but
in the winter shot -14, which I still call bullshit on.
We're gonna do better this year.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. Is it gonna happen again this year?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I need I need a redo.
I can't wait to actually golf.
Dude, I can't wait. Oh, you know what? Perfect fucking transition. Speaking of golf.
Yeah, I wanted to get into some of your more topics.
Yeah, speaking of golf. So I have a thing here. So mark down the time. Tiger Woods, can you guess what his all-time win percentage is on the PGA Tour?
22.
It's 22.8. So the next closest to him is Ben Hogan, and he's got a 21. Jack Nicklaus, who's, supposedly the greatest.
Was that a 7? 7%?
No, he's at a 12.2.
Oh, I was going to say 12. I swear
Rory
to God.
is just under 11.
Wow. Okay.
All right, another crazy fucking Tiger Woods fact. Let me see if I can... Oh, I have it written down on my notes. All right. So if Tiger Woods only played in 1999 and 2000, he would have 17 wins and 4 major championships.
That's easy Hall of Famer.
As of right now, that is a better career than Jordan Spieth.
Wow.
Over 10 years of Jordan Spieth golf, that 2 years of Tiger is a better career.
Hey, early predictions. Who do you think's going to win the PGA Tour this year?
Like the championship?
Yeah.
Jon Rahm.
Jon Rahm's a hard.
It's either going to be Rahm or Scheffler.
Yeah.
Rahm's probably. I mean, he can't miss.
Yeah.
Rahm,
So
he's got all the magic.
If Tiger warms up, he might be in the hunt.
I don't think Tiger's got a chance at the championship.
I think he just has shots at majors.
I think Tiger has a huge chance
to win the Masters
at Augusta.
Hey, right now, $100 on the Masters on Tiger.
Oh yeah, absolutely. $100 on Tiger. I'm putting money on Tiger in every event that he's in. I'm putting at a minimum $20 on.
Yeah, at a minimum, we'll throw like a bet on Tiger logo.
Yeah. The Tiger bets. I don't have any more golf stuff. I have a pretty crazy clip to play.
Okay.
Of Jackie Robinson.
Okay.
So did you know that not only was Jackie Robinson a gangster at baseball, but he was also an All-American at UCLA for football?
I did not know that.
He was a running back, and we'll play the clip right here.
Okay.
So this is him running the ball and being a crazy man.
Damn, dude. Dude, look at that juke. That 19 fucking... What was that?
And look at you know what's crazy? When I was first watching it, I was like, damn, they're slamming him to the ground hard.
Yeah, dude. That's
This was the time frame for it though. Look at him turn the corner, dude. And then cut back. Ooh. He's hitting the ground hard though. He is.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that either.
First Bo Jackson.
He was I don't know, I wouldn't put him on the same level as Bo Jackson.
But he was the first baseball, football.
Yeah, no, he was an All-American at UCLA, and I think that's very fucking wild. Like he was just an all-around athlete.
That's crazy.
All-around athlete.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, and if you want we can transition from college sports. I have a cut stumper for you. It's a one-question cut stumper.
Okay. 30.
And I know I have it right here.
In recent news for me, I cleaned out my closet and threw away an entire whole bag of garbage, which was great.
Here it is. All right.
Okay.
So right here, this is when it goes up. Cut Stumper. You have to guess who this guy is. He's not famous for football, but he did play football at Purdue.
Is that Jim Gaffigan?
It is Jim fucking Gaffigan
Dude.
playing football for Purdue.
There's no way I can mistake that.
Yeah,
face
no,
and
you have
character.
to. That's a fucking Jim Gaffigan face. Look at what a stud he was, bro.
Yeah.
Look at what a stud he was.
Dude, I never knew he played football.
I didn't know he played football either. I saw that and I was like, oh my
He
gosh.
should
So
write-
that was
he should do some funny
posted by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
He should do some stand-up about playing for Purdue.
I don't know how many years he played, but he played at least one season at Purdue.
That's crazy.
And that's pretty fucking impressive.
It's
Pretty impressive, especially for a guy that's like he's got like the soft comedies, he's like the dad comedy, like the Family Man comedy, like what Bob Saget should have been for comedy. But Bob Saget was a raunchy motherfucker. Rest in peace.
Yeah, like
Love the guy.
the only person to ever give me a walk-on offer to try out was Northern, but that was 8 hours away from my house, and that was a walk-on opportunity. So even if I got cut, I'm not gonna go to a school just because, whatever. So
Yeah.
I went to Central, and it was my senior year. So going into this is my junior year. There's open walk-on tryouts for Central.
Yeah.
Work is at 4 o'clock in the morning because you got to work on an hour before the football team does. So for like 2 weeks, they're weaning people out because if you miss a practice, you're done. So you're up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I had the flu one of the days. It was terrible, but I didn't miss it. And then you finally get to your work. You finally get to your day of trying out. So originally why I got invited is because I went to the football fields, the practice football fields for flag football, and I was kicking field goals in the snow. So I sent this, I measured
Sent
it out.
some tapes.
I measured it out with a fucking thing and put stakes in the ground, and I was kicking 45-yard field goals like nothing. It wasn't like nothing. I edited it to make it look like nothing. So
Oh shit! All right, keep going.
yeah, I'll finish it. So I sent him a video. I go through all these tryouts. There's a guy who's a lineman who I think is gonna make it because he's from a big high school, like a big high school, Brother Rice. He played center and he's just trying out for lineman. He's huge. He's my height, but he's huge. And I thought he's definitely gonna make it. So day of the tryouts, we ran 3 drills, a 40-yard dash, an agility, and an agility. And I was like, let me kick some fucking field goals. And then he's like,
Trying to tire you out first.
and no, they didn't even do nothing.
they didn't even let you.
I got cut off my 40 time and my fucking agility time. And guess what? Didn't even ask my 40 time. I ran it and I just walked away. I just was like, nope, I don't even want to know it. Didn't even ask.
That's funny. Me and my buddy Squirrel, rest in peace to the homie. We went down to Southern California for a week down to Laguna Beach, and his uncle was a coach at Laguna Beach Community College, and we both tried out for tryout weekend. And the first 2 days went great. I was performing very well at the tight end position, and the third day there was a big party. And so we went to the party instead.
Sick.
Never look back. I mean, I look back regularly now,
You're
but
like
at the
Bert
time,
Kreischer.
never look back.
He went to one baseball tryout, left his bag there.
I didn't
and
even go to
walked
the school. We just tried out for like the summer camp or whatever, and they gave me great reviews. I did all right. I ran a 4.75
Wow.
my 40 time, which is pretty fucking impressive. I ran a 4.69 one time, but I think that was a bad time because I was not a 4.6 guy. I was always a 4.8, 4.7 guy.
Right.
So
If you could guess one sport that another school would ask if I would play for their school by transferring to another school, what sport do you think that was?
a sport,
There's a sport that I was good at when I was really little. And I was,
soccer.
yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say there's only one other sport you said you were good at.
Yeah, and because I was playing 2 years ahead just because I had
Yeah.
one. Yeah, and it was great.
That's how I was when I was younger too. I tried out for it was like the U14 team when I was like 10. And the only reason why they had me try out with them is because they thought I was 14. Because like how big I was. Like I was a tall kid. I was just a tall kid. And I tried out with them. And I kept trying out. I remember this, every time they do like the throw-ins, I would always stand in front of the guy. And whenever I saw him like go back to like throw it, I would jump and try and hit it with my head.
Yeah.
So I was just a little shithead. Like I didn't even know really how to play the game. I didn't really understand the game at all. I was just like kick the ball, when I was playing goalie, grab the fucking ball and sling it as hard as you fucking could.
I was real aggressive because I was good.
Yeah, I was good. Slide tackles all day. I was bumping into people.
Like my dad was in scouts. He wasn't the scout master yet. So let's save those jokes. But so this guy was like, "Hey, Brad, you're like really good with kids. Do you want to coach our soccer team? Because I don't know what happened." And my dad was like, "Oh, my son doesn't play, but if he wants to play, I'll coach." And my dad was like, "You want to play soccer?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, that sounds sick." So instantly got on his team. They never won a game. We won one game that entire season. I got in trouble that season because there's the orange team, which had all these people on it. And when we were saying good game, good game, good game, good game, I was saying you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck.
Yeah, that's a normal shit.
Because I was pissed because they were talking, they were talking, I scored a goal and they scored fucking 5.
Yeah.
And I was just
shithead kid mentality right there.
And so I had to apologize to the whole team. My dad walked me over and he's like, "You have to apologize to the entire team for what you said." And I was like, "I'm sorry." And I never did that after that. Yeah. And so when I was 9, my brother was playing in 11-12, and the red team that I played in the morning, the 9 o'clock game, he played the 10. Well, the 10 o'clock team doesn't have a game. And I was like, "Well, I'm wearing a red jersey. Can I play?" And the coach was like, "Yeah, sure." So I was 14. They had a 14. They took duct tape. I was 44. My brother scores a goal. I scored a goal, and the game was tied. And then that coach goes, "Can you play on our team for the rest of the season?" And my dad's like, "Sure." So I played in 2 leagues, and then I played up the league. And the only person that ever really fucked me up, I was 12 years old, and I was playing 14. And there was a Russian kid, and he was playing for a league somewhere in Eaton Rapids. And he was 14, and he was like 6'3".
So he was a 6'3", 14-year-old.
And he played defense, and I like to play striker. You know, striker, midfield, up, whatever. I had the ball, and he checked me so fucking hard to the ground. When we went into halftime, I say, "Can I just play defense for the rest of the game, like defense midfield?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And I just didn't want to play offense because he hit me so.
Yeah.
Well, a check.
Yeah.
And then the only other time that I got fucked up that bad is a kid turned around and tried to blast a ball, and it hit me right in the chest. Just knocked the fucking wind out of me. And I was just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, gotta leave.
Yeah.
So I did miss one golf thing that's pretty big news. Live golfers are now allowed to play at all of the major tourneys.
Okay, yeah. And then, so here's my argument pro Live Golf. Mm-hmm. Okay. They have a guaranteed salary.
Yeah.
So what I think you should do if you're the PGA right now is you give everybody a guaranteed salary based on their skill level. So if you're like, but here's, I mean, like, okay, if you give everybody a base salary, that's the same thing. That's cool. But I mean, Phil Mickelson doesn't deserve the same base salary as some guy who just made the tour. So there should always.
You're not going to pay Tiger the same amount as you're going to pay Will Zalatoris. Will has a win under his belt, but it's like.
But that's why Live Golf is striving, because they have guaranteed money.
Well, they don't get as many eyes on their events. They're also, it's very PGA Pro right now because Live hasn't started up yet. Live's in the works of starting up. Also, Dustin Johnson, Bryson, and another dude, they didn't lose, they just stopped their deals, their brand deals. So Live is trying to make like a team thing, and they're gonna wear uniforms, like team uniforms, so like golfers are gonna team up together and like try and post scores together. So I don't know if it's gonna be scramble style, best ball style, Ryder Cup style. I don't know how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be a team aspect to the Live Golf, which I fucking love. I think that's sick.
I think you should go total, since you're professionals already. You should total overall score. So if me and you are golfing, we were pros, and I got a +1, you got a -1.
It would be fucking interesting to see a scramble style tournament with imagine Bryson and Dustin Johnson.
Imagine a 4-person charity scramble with the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So you got Tiger, Rory, and then who else are there? Because they're building a squad.
I mean, what do you
Phil's building a
Dustin
squad.
Johnson and Phil are probably going to play together because those
Scotty.
are the 2 biggest names in the Live. And then
who's on John Rahm's team?
John Rahm.
I think John Rahm teams with Mickelson.
Well, that'd be cross PGA borders.
No, if you just did scramble, if you just did a huge scramble.
Oh, just a golf scramble.
Yeah.
Not no affiliate, no live affiliate, no PGA affiliate. I think if I'm John Rahm, because he's currently the number one golfer in the world, PGA, I would want to team up with probably Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Scheffler's right there. I think he's definitely top 5 still. I don't know who the top 5.
If I was John,
PGA
if I was
guys are.
John Rahm, Scotty, I would recruit Scotty. I would try to recruit who's the guy who Jordan Spieth, and then I would try to recruit. I'm gonna say Bryson DeChambeau, because Bryson DeChambeau on a 4-person scramble.
Official world rankings. Here we go.
Hey,
all right.
hey.
So as of right now,
Hey, wait, real quick.
John Rahm's 1, Scotty's 2, Rory's 3, Patrick Cantlay is 4, Cameron Smith is 5, Xander Schauffele is 6, and Will Zalatoris is 7. That's impressive.
Oh, hey,
Max Homa is 8. Shout out to Max Homa. And JT is 9, Colin Morikawa is 10, and Victor Hovland's at 11. I mean, John's got to go for Scotty. He's the number 2 golfer in the world right now.
JT Show blows up.
Yeah.
We've got connections.
Okay.
Celebrity tournament, 4-person scramble. You're on your team cut versus Team
Taylor.
Team Taylor. You get first overall. Who's you?
I mean, I have to take Rahm. I got to take John Rahm.
John Rahm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have to. Out of anyone, right? Live or...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I got it. He's the number 1.
I'm going Tiger, because I gotta.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
All right. Who's your second?
I mean, if you're taking... I'm just going to go Scotty. He's the number 2 golfer in the world. Just gonna keep going down the list. If you're going to leave the number 1 and 2 out there with me, I'm going to take them.
All right. Number 2, I'm going Bryson DeChambeau.
It's a good pick.
Because Tiger's going to pipe it down the driveway, down the fairway.
At least 308. That's his average.
Whoever else and me, I'm gonna go consistent. I don't have to go hard.
No,
I'm gonna go. Let me
better not go hard.
Let me go first.
Yeah,
A 225 down the fairway.
225 straight. Yeah, you just leave your hands underneath your shoulders. You'll hit it.
I got that. Then Tiger goes second.
Yeah.
Who's your third though?
My third. So I'm the 4th, obviously. So I think for my third, I mean we're all business right now. We got the number 1 and number 2 golfer in the world. And see, all right, so this is when it gets weird because like I love dudes like Tommy Fleetwood's a fucking good guy. I love Bubba Watson's just a good guy. Kevin Kisner's a good fucking guy.
I love watching golf too.
Yeah. I love seeing the shit in between.
Brad Taylor's watching the Netflix documentary right now.
It's a great doc.
Yeah,
it's a great doc. I'm about halfway through it right now.
You're right up. My dad's halfway through it. He's ahead of me.
I think for my third and final pick for my foursome for a scramble against your bitch ass team, minus Tiger. Let's go with personality. You know what? Let's not go with personality. Let's go with just another great fucking golfer. I'm going Dustin Johnson.
Great pick, dude.
I'm going Dustin Johnson.
That's a great
We
pick.
got 2 Dustins on the team. We're killing it.
My third and final is Morikawa.
I like that pick.
Because
I like that pick.
Morikawa...
I saw you scribbling something before I made my pick, and I thought
You know what's crazy?
Morikawa.
You know what's crazy? I wrote down Morikawa, and I said if you pick him, I'm going Dustin Johnson. Because
So, yeah.
And the only reason I have Tiger is because if you're having a scramble team, and like let's say like
We left Rory on the board. I thought for sure you'd go Rory.
I wanted to, but here's why you go Bryson. Okay.
I got the number 1. I got the number 2.
So here's my hitting order. I hit first every single fucking time.
Yeah.
Morikawa goes second on the drive because he's got a nice consistent drive and he's gonna pipe it 275 average, easy down the fairway.
Minimum.
Tiger goes number 3 because it's Tiger motherfucking Woods.
That's the cleanup spot.
And then Bryson
Oh, Bryson's the cleanup.
Bryson
just gets to let loose.
Bryson gets to let loose.
Yeah.
So Bryson could hit a 400-yard fucking drive, and then guess what? I'm hitting first every single fucking time. So
I think for me, off the tee box, I want to hit second.
I want to hit first.
So I'm gonna make Scotty hit first.
Okay.
I'm hitting second. I'm gonna have Dustin Johnson is gonna hit third, And then Rom's going to be my cleanup guy all day long.
Okay, so
just because he's the number one in the world.
So we make this a celebrity thing, right? Here's the rule.
Charity.
Here's the charity rule to make it fair. Whoever has the better drive. So if you hit it fairway and I hit it rough, you automatically win. Okay. But for distance in the fairway, so fairway drives, your team so best ball has to move it back 50 yards because me and you
get a penalty.
Me and you.
I mean, that's the real competition.
And par threes are excluded, but every single par 4, par 5, that's the rule. Because me and you, that's how you keep it fair.
That's how you keep it fairly even.
And so that's why you go second.
And honestly, both of our teams are just star-studded.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine.
30 minutes for a burger.
I couldn't imagine
30 minutes for a burger.
Yeah, no, it's taking fucking forever. So just so you guys know, we ordered food. Oh, it's been picked up as of right now.
Hey, that's great because so like
we ordered food at the beginning of this.
We did a golf simulator, and then we're like pretty hungry, so we ordered food.
It's right around the corner too.
Yes, and we're at almost an hour, so we can finish it up.
We'll just finish.
Let's wrap it up. You got any more points you haven't hit up? Harry Potter update, by the way. We both beat the campaigns. Cut's experience and my experience are different, and here's why. Different. The autosave feature is a problem.
It's an issue.
And it's fucked me, and it's fucked Cut, but it's fucked me Cut in worse positions.
Big. I've lost probably 4 hours of gameplay altogether.
The big day last week where we played for like 6 hours happened to me twice. And I lost an hour twice, but because you lose the hour, you know exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
Whatever. But you got screwed on the final mission.
Yeah, so the final real quest that you do, I won't ruin it for anyone, but the final real quest you do, I beat it. I did it.
Yep.
I tried it the first night, and I only went in with 1 health potion. That was a mistake. Next night, went in with 25. Only used 3 of them.
I was playing it at the same time as you, a little earlier.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The second time, I beat it, did it, sick, went through the thing, and I was like, all right. I'm going to go around and I'm going to do all the side quest shit that I want to do. And I was just randomly just perusing around.
You found the fight lobby.
And I found the fucking arena, the fight arena. Yep. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do this real quick. Loaded into the fight arena, broke all the little vases, went to the fight arena.
24.
Beat the fucking fight arena. Didn't use a single potion the whole time. Just crushed everybody. Avada Kedavra's OP.
Yeah.
At the end of it, it was like, hey, congratulations, you won. Here's a little piece of clothing that you won. Do you want to try it again? Or do you want to back out and not try it again?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to try it again. So I pressed not try it again. And it reloaded me to my last save, which apparently was halfway through the final quest.
It sucks.
So I lost an hour and a half of gameplay.
Through the final quest.
Post final quest.
Yeah.
And I uninstalled it from my Xbox. And I'm just done with Hogwarts for the meantime. I'll probably fire it back up again in April when Chris is gone and do a little Hufflepuff playthrough so I can play it Azkaban.
So as me and you, there's one point where I had the demi guys where I was like, okay, cool, this is sick.
I never got to level 2 of Alohomora.
Yeah, and so I had enough to finish the quest, and I beat some of Sebastian's quest to learn the final spell.
Yeah.
And it reset on me. It took me 20 minutes to do everything that I did because I'm exploring.
Already know,
yeah. So it wasn't that bad. And then an hour later on the same day, it reset again, but it checked me to the same point in the same quest, so I got lucky. So I got fucked 2 times in the same day, but way less worse off than you, to where your experience now is vastly different from the shitty autosave.
Yeah.
To where I'm still exploring and loving to explore. But if I had your experience, I'd be just as pissed.
Yeah, no, I'm just mad
so you give it a 7.4.
I give it a 7.4, but without the autosave thing fucking me.
My final score?
It's a solid...
I go 9.1.
Solid 8.8.
I go 9.1, and the reasoning why is I like games that reward you for finishing more stuff sooner. So if you look at Mass Effect 2, right? I played Mass Effect 2 twice because it's in the same era of you still have internet, but it's still like early enough to where you're not playing consecutive Call of Duty every night. So the first time I played Mass Effect, it might have been 3 actually, with Jack. Yeah. I played Mass Effect 3 twice. So I played Mass Effect 3 was my first one that I really played, and then on Xbox you could play 2, load your character from 2 into 3, which is so fucking. It's like Madden.
I played through all that when before I didn't have Xbox Online all throughout high school until like my senior year.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have it again until I got to my first duty station.
Yeah.
And even then.
Yeah.
And then even then, I didn't use it. I just played single player games because I didn't have friends that played games.
And so, the first Mass Effect I beat, and I was like, great. That was Mass
Phenomenal
Effect 3. I barely knew anything about it.
Oh, I played the first one first because I knew all three were. Well,
I watched Holcomb play. I'd go over to his house and just be there until my parents could pick me up because I'd had track practice, and then there'd be a gap, and his mom would just feed me sometimes, and then I would just sit and watch Holcomb play video games, and that's how like you grew up. So I watched the first 1 and 2 get done, so I knew the story. So I played 3, picked a character, had a great time, loved it. I went back, I played 2, and then the second time I invested in all the side missions. So I explored all the planets, got resources, upgraded my ship, had maximum character companion.
Yeah.
And then during the final mission of Mass Effect 3, if you don't upgrade your ship, and if you don't have a good character development with certain people, they die.
Makes it harder, yeah.
They die.
Yeah.
And it changes the end game.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and I could be wrong, but there's no change of end game if you 100% it for what you do technically at the last.
In Hogwarts, yeah.
So I wish there was, of course, main quest, cool, but there should be a bonus.
Different storylines.
Or like you 100%.
Different dialogue.
Or at least, hey, you 100%ed it. Here's something you unlock that you can't unlock unless you fucking grind.
Even if it's just like a dope...
A mission.
No, even if it's just like a dope broomstick.
Yeah, something.
Even if it's just a broomstick skin, because that's all they are.
Or even like, oh, you 100%ed the ending technically. We're going to do this for your character. Mm-hmm. And then it does something crazy to know, like you like in 2K, right? You get your character up to whatever, and then they post them on the thing. Same thing, but 9-1 final rating. It's been real for the JT Show. Our burgers are here.
Yeah, they're here. One last thing. What do you think John Wayne's real name is?
Oh, it's not John Wayne. I don't know what it is.
It's Marion Morrison.
Damn it.
Marion Morrison. They said it was too Italian. He needed something a little more American.
Yeah.
So that's what he went with, John Wayne.
Fucking Pilgrim.
Yeah.
John Wayne played Genghis Khan. Well, food's here.
There it is.
JT Show 123. See you guys later.
The books. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Hey,
Bye.
free beer if you let me know.
Comment.